Well, I'm on the tee with PGA Tour star and Ryder Cup player Luke Donald. A chance to see from him what he works on in his golf swing. So, Luke, from start to finish, if you don't mind.
Well, you know, a lot of things I work on with my coach are really basic fundamentals. I'm always checking the grip, always checking my posture, how far away I am from the ball, getting those things right. If I can get those things right, then it makes my swing fall into place better. But, you know, getting a bit more in depth into my swing, as I said, I work a lot on my setup, you know, checking that I'm getting the right ball position. With my ball position, I don't tend to look at my feet so much. I tend to pick a spot in my body where the ball works to. So with a sand iron, if I was playing a sand iron, it's going to hit me roughly around my left eye. 5-iron might be a bit more towards my left ear, and a driver, if I set up like a driver, then it should hit me somewhere in the armpit.
Right.
Always checking these things, checking that my knees aren't too flexed, that I'm the right distance away from the golf ball, so I'm not on my toes or on my heels, but somewhere in between. And then, you know, obviously have certain other aspects in my swing that I'm working on.
So the basics, and your coach, Pat Goss from Chicago.
From Chicago,
right? Yeah. When he looks at you, he'll start by looking at grip setup and the sort of things that any club golfer could look at.
Absolutely. I think if you know, I play so many pro-ams that you see all these things that are always wrong in amateurs. They have the strong grip or the grip that's too much in the palm. They're not be able to create enough hinge to hit the ball far. And I'm always checking the fundamentals, you know, first of all, lining up. If I'm on the range, I'll always put a club down to pick a good target. It's just simple things like this that help.
And Pat's checked you out, he's got you happy, you're happy with your setup. What happens then in the swing? A lot of it should flow naturally, of course.
Should flow naturally. You know, some of the things when I'm just on a range working, not on a golf course, once I've got my good fundamentals and my good setup, I have a tendency to get the club away a little bit shut with the club faces down. So I'm always working on getting the hands getting a little bit close to the body, hinging up, getting the club a little bit more vertical, and then at the top I have a little bit more cup in my wrist. If I get this way a little bit, that's when I get in trouble. And from there, really, I'm just trying to get my legs and my body working together in good synchronization. So the legs go a little bit before, and I work on trying to get the knees at impact working on the same line as where I'm going. I have a tendency to get my legs a little bit going too fast. The legs get this way where there's a bit of a gap between the knees. They're not on the same path, and as a result my hands get a bit high and sometimes hit a shot to the right. So really I'm just working on getting nice and level and solid through impact with my legs and just letting the arms go through.
You've been pretty much a consistent ball striker. Have you kept consistent swing thoughts?
I think so. I think generally they might be told in a little bit different way in how Pat is explaining it, but it's always to the same thing. You know, I'm trying to get the club a little bit square at the top, nice and wide on the way down, and a nice follow through, nice and high at the finish.
And if there was one tip you could pass on, we're talking to the club golfer now, not the aspiring tour pro, what would you pass on to him?
I would say practice the short game. You know, as I said, I play in a lot of pro-ams, and you know, most people are proficient in getting it around the green in 2 or 3 shots, but when they get to the green, they don't know the proper fundamentals to play the proper chip shots and work on their speed on the green as well.
Thanks, Luke.
No problem.